what inspired you to get into acting?
What matters is the story and how you craft it.
You've answered a lot of the questions already with that one answer, so that's fine.
Seems like that's kind of been lost over the years, that kind of art of a classic movie poster. Photoshop is a wonderful tool, don't get me wrong, but it's just made it so easy just to whack a picture of Jason Statham in the corner, you know.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on your favourite podcasting platform. Thank you. Welcome to Film Forums. Thank you so much, Glen Stone, for joining us today. My name's Richard Williams, and I have with me Pete Straley as well, who's co-hosting for the first time with me today, which is awesome. So, Glen, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm a graphic designer, illustrator. So I've had quite a exciting last couple of years with a lot of published artworks. The one I'm probably most well known for is the Joker piece that you've got behind you there, which is lovely. But yeah, I've been doing well. So I just enjoy scribbling. I just enjoy anything to do with movie culture or sci-fi, anything retro really. So yeah,
no, that's cool. When did you realize that you were a really good artist, and when did you first get to grips with digital art specifically?
I think I've always kind of had art as an interest. It's always been something that I just took to, especially being a massive comic book fan as well. It just kind of goes hand in hand, you know. But I think the transition to digital wasn't too difficult at all, really. It seems like a natural progression these days, and a lot of illustrator friends I have in the industry, they do tend to initially they usually work in traditional like line work or pencils, and then scanning, and obviously in Photoshop or whatever program they use, add detail and color. But yeah, I think it just makes it a lot easier, especially now we're in the age of the internet, and you can work on your tablet. You see a trailer, you're influenced automatically. Before you know it, you've got a complete piece of artwork. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that kind of segues quite nicely into my next question, really. It's like, do you find digital art easier than traditional museums because it's so easily to change, manipulate, go back into it, do whatever you like with it, basically?
It certainly makes it a lot easier. And also it gives you, you never are fully satisfied with your artwork. You're never entirely happy with a finished piece, if you know what I mean. You're always going to be your own worst critic. So
yeah.
For me, someone who's constantly, you know, altering pieces I've done 2 years back or 3 years back, or just scanning a scribble I did at work on my lunch break or whatever, it's good to have that ease to do it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between me and you is absolutely night and day. I wouldn't compare myself in any way, shape or form, but I do a bit of graphic design myself for film forum stuff. And one of the sort of banner artworks.
It looks good. I like your Joker piece. I like your Joker piece.
That's really good.
And the Baby Yoda.
No, I was going to say was one of the interview, I won't say which one because it looks great now, but one of them, I have version 17. Where I literally, I wasn't happy with that, tweaked it, wasn't happy with that. And it literally got to 17 versions and I was finally happy with it. So I get it. Yeah, I understand that kind of thing.
The bane of designers or any illustrator, revision 2.4, or I haven't finished this one yet, or PSD number 67. You go insane and you've got this stockpile of files.
What's your record? Do you know what your record is for sort of naming files? Because I've got up to sort of 20s or 30s, but I'm not an artist. Once I've done it, it's done. So yeah.
I think definitely in the double figures. I think my whole life is a constant revision. So it doesn't, one of them.
As someone who has sort of no background or any sort of knowledge of graphic design, that sort of just blows my mind, those kind of numbers. I think it's great to be a perfectionist, but God, that must drive you mad.
The thing is, I work reasonably quick as well, so I'm always kind of just trying to be as economic with my time as possible, but as focused. So if it gets to the stage where I'm really happy with it and I send it, and then 4 months down the line I'm still working on a left hand or a fingernail or something, I'm really close to death, you know. It drives you mad.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. Again, not in your league at all, but I get it as a process. I understand exactly where you're coming from. It's frustrating, but if you've got that perfectionist streak, then you can really take your art to the next level, or whatever you're working on, frankly, to the next level. So I think that's great. As long as you can find the balance and obviously get stuff done within a deadline, then that's great.
How did you find out your artwork was going to be used for the Joker Collector's Edition Blu-ray cover? And sort of what was your initial reaction to that news?
That was quite a surprise, actually. So I don't know if you've heard of it, there's like a creative artwork network called Talent House, who basically produce creative briefs for movies or packaging or just anything in general, really. So they tend to do quite a few for big motion pictures. And Joker was one of them. And I entered it, and I was one of the selected finalists. My piece was used across social media when the film was released. There was some incredible artwork. It was just completely a surprise to me that mine was one of them that was used, really. But
Shouldn't have been surprised, Glenn, at all. It's brilliant.
Oh, no, it always is. It always is. I think there was about 10 entries for that competition that I put in, just because I was so enthusiastic. And Batman, to me, he's there. But yeah, it was such a surprise. And then, yeah, it was about a month ago now that I got an email, and it went straight into my junk folder. And it was from the creative assistant to Todd Phillips, the director of Joker, who wanted to ask for my Instagram handle so that he could obviously release the promotional video for the Italian collector's edition. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, they are actually, they're using it again. And I was like, it's going to be there. That is just, couldn't explain it. Still do not believe it. I'm still waiting for my copy. But yeah, amazing. Completely mind blown.
Do you not get a free copy at the very least then? Do you not get a collector's
I blagged it. I totally blagged it. I said, look, can I please get one? And luckily I did that. I was really cheeky and asked, and the pre-orders sold out. So obviously they're now on their second run, I believe. And I know it's only the Italian collector's edition, but still, I'm very honoured and humbled that a lot of my friends have actually gone online and purchased it and so forth.
Have you been approached by any other major film studios for commissions since Warner Brothers picked your work for the Joker Collector Blu-ray cover edition?
Not currently, unfortunately. So I've done quite a few books for Printed in Blood, who are based in America. And unfortunately, due to the state of the world at the moment, the next release that I contributed to was for Firefly, the sci-fi series. That was due to be released in November, but unfortunately it's been pushed back to March. Mm-hmm. They did announce the other day the forthcoming Aliens art book, which for me is the biggest deal ever. It's just, I'm a massive Aliens fan. The entire, kind of world universe, if you will, of Aliens, Alien 3, Predator, all that, Predator's grandma. It's just, to me, amazing. And to be asked to be in the book and contribute is, incredible. So, but hopefully, my artwork's out there now, and there have been, unfortunately, because Warner Brothers do own the Joker artwork, the majority of requests I get are for prints or limited edition prints of the piece itself, but they own it, and I obviously, I've missed out on millions there, but never mind.
As a comic book fan, are there any sort of specific artists whose work you admire most, and any sort of who've influenced your artwork at all?
There's so many. Adi Granoff, obviously the creator of Iron Man. Frank Quietly, I think is just incredible and the most intricate and most detailed artist since Mobius, I think. Ben Oliver, I have a lot of his original artwork, and also Mac Chater, he's fantastic as well. But I think just generally, I just appreciate, I have so many comics and graphic novels, and it just takes like a nicely, put together page or like comic panel just to, kind of, I don't know, grab my attention.
I feel like there's sort of an underappreciation almost of comic book art. I think these days it's probably grown a bit more and has sort of become a bit more into the mainstream, but you'll still find people thinking, oh, they're just comic books, they're for kids, and it's totally not like that, is it?
Yeah, I know. It's insane considering how much, you're seeing the comic book evolution and seeing Netflix series, complete universes on film, just, the highest grossing movies. I think like when you go to the cinema, when we used to be able to go to the cinema back in the 1950s, like to be sat there and watching, a 3-hour epic like Endgame, and to see that final battle the only thing you could do back then was read the comics and imagine it playing out, and it just, you know, it's astounding to see how far it's come, and it gives you so much hope for, you know, all these kind of the lesser known comic books that are not appreciated, that could be just absolutely amazing series, or films. Yeah.
Is there a particular comic book character you love to draw more than others? I know you said you're a big Batman fan. Yeah,
Batman.
I was thinking
Batman.
Gotta be Batman.
I still haven't got it right, but it's Batman. You know, I draw him with a nostril up here and here, there. It's all fun. But yeah, I think Batman, definitely. Anything in the Batman universe, and obviously Joker. It just seems like everything's kind of come together in that way for me. It's like a massive honor. I still think, despite the fact that I absolutely love Todd Phillips' Joker, and I love Joaquin Phoenix' performance. I mean, for something that wasn't meant to be meant to be his kind of own take on the Joker, if you will, an origin story is never something the hardcore comic fans are going to agree with. But I still think Heath Ledger's performance it's timeless. It's one of those things that will, you know, I remember back in, you know, when Drew Struzan's extremely detailed painted posters for the likes of, you know, Indiana Jones or the Phantom Menace, all these, even Harry Potter. I mean, he's done so many, but it seems like that's kind of been lost over the years, that kind of art of a classic movie poster. And Photoshop is a wonderful tool, don't get me wrong, but it's just made it so easy just to whack a picture of Jason Statham in the corner, you know.
That brings me on nicely, actually, to the next question. Do you have a favorite movie poster?
I think it would probably have to be the original The Thing.
Very iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people say that one. It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. And that was a bit of a rush job as well. I watched a documentary on how Drew Struzan put that together, and it was kind of an overnight thing. And it's insane. Absolutely insane. That's not right, you know? Don't do that. Don't do a poster that iconic in like one night. It's terrible.
Well, that actually brings me nicely to possibly one of my final questions, really, was how long does it take you typically to come up with, you know, something like that or something like that?
A lot of us illustrators are just naturally, we love movies and we love trailers. And I think that's one of the things that gets you extremely hyper and excited about a forthcoming movie. And so you see a trailer or you see imagery of leaked characters or whatever, and you just automatically want to start drawing them. You know what I mean? And I think in the Joker piece, I was deliberately slow at putting that together and worked on just the inks first, the line work and the black kind of ink speckles, and then added the color. And I was actually really thankful that I made the background yellow, because I don't know. I just was drawn to using a really kind of bright color. And then ironically, when I saw Joker, obviously, as like with the opening scene when he's attacked in the alley, and the full text is just, you know, Joker, yellow. And it all seems to come together for some strange reason. So, but I typically, I'll stop and start pieces. So if I'm not sure where it's going, or I'm not really feeling that I'm getting it quite right, then I'll take a break, rest my eyes, and go and draw something else for a while, I guess.
What advice would you give to somebody who is sort of starting out, so is in your position a number of years ago?
I think a lot has changed since when I was young. I mean, that was a long time ago. But I think now, because there's so many ways you can obviously work, like desktop, iPad. I mean, the Joker piece was drawn in Procreate for the iPad with the iPencil. So quite literally just the screen and just lots of zooming in. And you have this new technology just at hand that makes it easier when you're just out and about, and, you know, you can plonk yourself down in a coffee shop or, you know, wherever and just draw. And that's amazing. That's the best thing. And I'm really precious about my traditional drawings and sketches that I do in my sketchbooks, because they're there and they can't be altered drastically once you've committed ink or anything. Whereas you can't, you know, you can be a bit more playful and creative. So I think that's good.
Do you like the kind of pressure? Sorry to interject. Do you like the kind of pressure of traditional mediums, because it is the permanency of it? Yes, you can erase stuff and you can change this a little bit maybe when you're starting out the image, but you know, kind of once you've layered that up and you've got it in there, it's kind of there, isn't it? It's permanent. So do you revel in that kind of pressure and like, no, I'm committing to this, etc.?
I mean, you're still given the ability to obviously, you know, do very faint lines or blue lines and then draw over in inks or darker pencils. In that respect, it does make you kind of take your time more when it comes to figuring out where you want to go with the pieces you're putting together. So, but yeah, I just think for anyone starting out, definitely, you know, there's so many things to hand now. And then portfolio, like you said as well, that's a great. There's so many. Facebook is a wonderful thing as well. Instagram. I mean, I'll add artists daily just because their artwork is incredible.
I was just wanting to ask actually, what sort of projects you're working on at the moment, and what can we see next from you?
Definitely the one I've really got to decide what I'm doing in regards to it is the Aliens book piece, because I need that to be completely stonking and just the most detailed and amazing piece I can do. But I'm still a little bit in the woods with that one. I don't know. I don't know whether to go mega intricate and just, you know, even have the Alien Queen's toenail sticking out the corner, or I don't know, a bunch of silhouettes. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. That's the wonderful thing about Printed in Blood, when they give you a creative brief as an artist, that they give you some guidelines to work to, but they're completely, they give you free reign, so you can either redesign the poster in essence, or, you know, draw particular characters or from different characters' perspectives, and that's wonderful. I really would like to break into comic books, just because it's something I've been wanting to do for so long. But currently, I mean, anything that's based within the arena of movies as well, definitely something I'm going to try and push more this year. So I've had great responses to the Joker pieces and Stranger Things pieces and the Ghostbusters pieces I've done. So hopefully, a lot more coming.
So I do have one final question. What's your favourite non-comic book film?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Great choice. Great choice. I haven't met a single person who hasn't liked that. So, you know.
And yours, Richard? What's yours? You got to tell me now.
Yeah, I would say Jurassic Park is my favourite film. I love that, and also 12 Angry Men, classic black and white film. So a bit of an old.
Never actually seen that.
You've never seen that?
I haven't seen it either.
Oh, I'm absolutely gutted that you haven't seen it.
Stick it on tonight.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on your favourite podcasting platform. Thank you.